Hello everybody and welcome to this one. This is a video on the unfortunate state of this car. This is my Rover 75 and I have apparently been scammed and also had an incident on the way back from one of the greatest car shows of the year. So without further delay, remember to subscribe, give me your opinion on this whole situation in the comments and let me know if I'm being an idiot for retiring my Rover 75 from daily use. So the first part of this is going to be the paint issue with the car. As you can see, the paint looks okay except for this bit, so we'll get into that now. So let me explain the paint with my not very clean shaven face. I basically booked it in with someone. They ended up backing out for some other reason and I was just like, okay, well I need to get this done for Pride of Longbridge. This was last year. So I found a guy completely just, he's been in the industry, really sort of, he refers to himself as sort of an old boy. He's been doing it for years and years and years, he says, and he's been around a while and he's just recently started a business in Sheffield. I'm not going to name any names because, I'm just not going to do that. So I give it to him on the proviso, you just, all I want, take these two doors, the bumper front and bumper rear, just make them look like the other side. So fix the paint on them because there was a few chips and a few scratches, and fix the dents as well. And the front bumper obviously had two scrapes on it, the rear bumper was the same. So that's fair enough. So it takes weeks and weeks and weeks. We're talking weeks and weeks and weeks. I eventually get it back the night before Pride of Longbridge. I then drive it down as you see in that video, and it looks like a gold zebra. So we've got a big white bit in the middle, white silver bit where it's all come to pieces, where the metallic-y bit in the gold hasn't dried, and you sprayed clear over the top of it. And then you've got all these random issues where it's like peeling in places, there's a big run down the side. It was a mess. So I said, look, I'm taking the car, but I'm going to return it to you and you're going to fix it. And he said, yeah, that's fine, okay, because I wasn't happy with it at all. Proviso is he fixes it. I get back from Pride of Longbridge, fairly alright with it, fairly alright drive and everything. But on the trip, when he took in the bumper off, he didn't put the sensor back, so that's why the sensor flew into the fan and destroyed the sensor. So I ended up with minus 60 degrees, I think it is, something like that, on the instrument cluster, and it sort of ruined my air conditioning a bit. So I got that replaced, and then I took it back to him after 3 weeks worth of waiting, and I said, you need to do it again, like you promised. Yeah, okay, I'll do it again. I've got a tracker in these cars, so obviously I know everything that goes on. It makes me sound a bit stalkerish, but I have to have trackers in all these cars after an incident that happened a few years ago. My security with the cars is pretty tight. It has to be, for my own sake. So I watch it on the tracker. I drop it off at his house, which is fair enough. I watch it on the tracker, and it's sat outside of his house for 2 weeks. And I asked him over text, and I said, is what's happening with the car? Because I need to know. Because he said it was just a straight up touch-up job. It wasn't anything major. He didn't have to redo anything because it was all done correctly. So I was like, yeah, cool, okay, that's fine. So, he replied, mate, it's being prepped. And I was like, okay. In my head, I was like, that's bullshit because it's outside your house. So that's fair enough. So I just thought nothing of it. I was like, look, just give him a chance. He's a new business. I need to give him a chance. And by no means is this a slight against new businesses, because obviously as a former business owner / sole trader at one point in my life, very many years ago, I understand the importance of small business, and I use a lot of small businesses for things over massive companies. So then another 2 weeks passes. I message him again. What's happening? The car then moves from his house, and before he replies, to his workshop. I then sit there and I go, can I come and see it? So he replies, yes, you can come and see it. So I was like, okay, I'll come and see it then. So I went and saw it, and it was just outside the front. not been touched. So I was like, okay, well, look, mate, you need to get cracking on now, because I am sitting here without, essentially without my main car that I use. And I then said to him, you need to get it done, I want it back. Arbitrary date, 2 weeks from now. Oh no, sorry, it was a month from now. I want it back a month from now. And all he really needed to redo was the 2 doors. So I then get back, and he's redone the front wing. This is after a whole situation. I get back after he told me he was basically ready to pick up, and he was still spraying the doors. So I was just like, look, I was like, I don't want this to look like crap. I want you to do it right, so I'm going to come back. And bearing in mind, Katie wasn't driving at the time, so I had to take a bloody bus. So that annoyed the hell out of me. So I was like, right, well, I'm leaving, and I'm leaving you with it. And then what then happened is, I got another call. I called back, said, look, when is this going to be done? Oh, I don't know, mate. Calling back again. When is it going to be done? This was 2 weeks after the date. Oh, it's going to be done this afternoon. Right, sound, okay, I'm coming to pick her up. Got there, I had to wait from about 2 p.m. until about 8 p.m. for it to be done. He finally, he was doing it in the door roll of the garage. So he wasn't even doing it in like a paint booth, which is what I paid for. Obviously I paid for paint. I don't care if you paint it with a roller, as long as it looks like it's supposed to look, right? If you're that skilled that you can make a metallic car look great with a roller, then that's perfect. But he was painting it with his gun in essentially what is an open garage in the middle of a street in an area in Sheffield. So I wasn't very happy about that, but fair dues, if you're skilled enough to pull it off, that's fine. It basically had to wait for it to drive 2 hours after that. So I got in the car about 10 o'clock and I was all right with it. And then I decided, I'll take a look in the morning. So I took it back to my house. I looked again, and it was the same thing again. He hadn't even properly done the doors. It was runs everywhere. It was a mess. So I said to him, look, this is the last chance. You're going to have to take this back, and you're going to have to do it correctly, because I'm not, I'm just a customer in this situation. He's the specialist. He's the person who I'm paying for this. He took it back again. 2 weeks passes, and then I got it back finally by pestering him constantly. And it's all done. It's not as bad, but not what I would consider a proper job. So I'm not very happy with it. But rather than continuously chuck money at it, because that's ridiculous to constantly chuck money at something, I'm just going to have to leave it. And it's really annoying and a bit upsetting that I've had to sort of deal with that. So if anybody has any blooming doors, both these doors, that one and that one, that I can buy off you in GMN in white gold, and a front wing, because you decided to touch that, let me know, because, well, I need them in June because I've got another car that I'm fixing. But yeah, I'm just not happy with this at all. It really winds me up. And you can say go to small claims and stuff. It's not going to work, because what are they going to serve him? You pay a quid a day back for the next 40 years. So I'm not going to name the guy, because I don't know if he's a victim of circumstance. I don't know if there is anything like that. And just let me know your opinion on it, because obviously, as you can imagine, I'm just not happy with it at all, because I wanted this car to be perfect as it could be, and it's not. So now we'll move on to the second bit, which is obviously the whole incident that happened on the way back from Pride of Longbridge. Of course, the other bit of this, before we go, is I was driving along and some pillock decided to drive along the crossy bit on the motorway near an exit and absolutely ruin my bumper. So that is really, really irritating. Thanks for that. 22 plate Volkswagen Touareg. What an absolute nonce case, but I'll probably get demonetised for that, but I don't really give a shit. I'm really irritated about that. And that's another thing, including this bump at the back, which has sort of prompted the sort of retirement from daily use. I'll be using the Fiat 500 more or less from now on. So that's absolutely fantastic. Well done for that. So that's it, everybody. Embossed headrest check, looking good. Let me know your opinion on this whole situation in the comments. Sorry for the delay in the video. It's been absolutely crazy. Obviously, had some personal stuff going on, a lot of work stuff, etc, etc. Brilliant to see a lot of you at Pride of Longbridge. Fantastic turnout as usual, and it was great to meet with all the fellow sort of YouTubers, Simone, Paul, Beards and Bangers, etc, etc, Colin, Sheldon. You all know who you are. You're all fantastic, and I'll see you at the next one. But yeah, it's a bit of a non-positive one, but we'll be okay.